This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun. No.
Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
Yes, welcome to DBL. It's Monday, November 22nd. That was New Kids on the Block performing their throwback hit Step by Step at the American Music Awards last night. I'm Jeff. I wish I was one of those guys, but I'm here with Al and Tori.
Wow, that was like a little bit of an insult, but no.
To who? to me too. To me as well.
Jeff, I feel like you could have been one of those guys.
It was my dream, man. It was my dream.
You can still do it.
No, he can't, Tori. No, he can't.
Find a man band to join.
No, you know what? We were talking a little bit, full disclosure, when they're up there and they're 40, 50, we still liking it the same? I wasn't seeing any underwear thrown up there or anything like that.
Well, it's like old kids on the block. I didn't mean that poorly. I love that.
I thought that was funny.
Okay.
Age shaming on a Monday. Tori will be gone by Wednesday. Let's get started. Rapper Cardi B hosted the AMAs in style. She was the queen of the wardrobe change, opening the show in this outfit inspired by a peacock. That's right.
That's awesome.
On the red carpet, she wore this black dress with a gold mask and matching fingernails. Okay? So during the show, she changed into this bright yellow gown, and after the show, she wore this white gown. Oh, also with a hood made of crystals. That's important.
Yeah, don't throw that.
There was also a show. Oh, yeah. All right. Taylor Swift broke her own record as the most awarded artist in AMA history. She picked up 2 more awards, bringing her total to 34. And Bobby Brown, speaking of man bands, reunited with his old boy band, New Edition, during the Battle of Boston. Check this out.
All I want to say, I need your love each and every day.
She walks so fancy, looks so sweet, she makes my heart just skip a beat.
My girl's the best and that's the
That was a jam. Was he singing?
Yeah, I think everybody, Karen over there saying yes. And
that
I could
sounded
tell,
pretty good.
I think everybody was singing last night, which props to them because I've seen no names, but like sometimes when you watch these award shows and they're kind of older artists, when they're dancing and singing, you see that they did not pace themselves because it's got to be incredibly difficult.
So hard.
Yeah.
So really, that's really difficult. So props to them for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the whole thing was lovely, but I think if you're at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you should be singing your voice. So I'm very happy to see that.
Well, you might be a little older by the time you get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's true. But I thought the whole thing was great.
This was not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was the AMAs.
Yeah.
Oh, the AMAs, excuse me.
Yeah. I was watching Biebs' new documentary over the weekend. It's a little bit older. But speaking of getting breath and stuff, I was watching him, and he was dancing. It was during COVID, so he hasn't performed in a while. And you could see in one song he was kind of like, and like would miss a word and stuff. I mean, shout out to the Biebs, but it's hard.
Really
it's hard.
tough.
Very
I mean,
tough.
if you've ever seen, if you look at choreographers, they are athletes. Oh, period.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are keeping up with your choreographer, your background dancers, you are keeping up with athletes, but you are also maintaining breath control to hit the certain notes. It's a big deal.
That's
it's
why,
like a bigger deal than people make it.
When Beyonce came out and did that tour, she like got back in shape. She said she got in like athlete shape.
Yes.
You have to be ready.
I watched that documentary.
Unbelievable. Homecoming.
I was crying on the couch in Idaho, which I said is going to be the name of my next book. I was watching Beyonce prepare, and I was like, tears were coming down to my eyes because I was like, nobody should ever work this hard for my entertainment.
I did
like,
the
it was
same
stunning.
thing with Biebs' album this weekend.
Yes.
I'm going to call it Crying in Colorado.
There we go. Oh, we'll release a double album. I love it.
There we go, the double CD set. All right, Adele got the surprise of her life during a concert in London. She was asked about her mentor and revealed it was her 8th grade teacher. Check this out.
She was so bloody cool, so engaging, and like she really made us care, and we knew that she cared about us. Is she here? Is she gonna here? She's here tonight.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Oh, don't cry. Thank you. Oh, thank you for remembering me. Thank you.
No, you really did change my life.
Mom, can you believe it?
That was a beautiful moment. That was a beautiful moment.
Amazing.
And that was not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame either, Tori. But yeah.
There's a lot of award award shows going on. I'm so sorry.
What are you thinking when you see that clip?
I don't know. We all say teachers don't get the pay they deserve. They don't get the verbiage they deserve. They don't get the praise they deserve. But really, it can be one thing a teacher will say to you, and it can be, I think you could be really a writer, or I think you could take off and really be a lawyer, or I think you could be a painter, and that sticks with people the rest of their lives. It changes their course of history, and I think it was lovely for her to be there. And you're a teacher, you know.
It's a big deal. Yeah, I taught for 5 years, for anybody that doesn't know, and we're with your kids, with kids at this very pivotal time in their life. They're becoming adults. They're seeing where they fit in with the world, where they fit in with their hierarchy, in the classroom, what's going on at home, and all those things are happening as your hormones are going crazy. And so to have a steadying presence during the day, I mean, your parents, you see them at 6 when they get home, but usually the person you see at noon that's like, hey, Jeff, are you okay? You didn't raise your hand in a week. What's going on?
Yeah.
You need somebody to check in on you, and your teachers do that. So it's not just rhetoric, and I'm glad you said that, Tori. It's a really like life-altering job. And we kind of look at it like, oh, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
It was something I'm really proud of doing.
Did you have something that stuck out?
Yeah, I had something that stuck out once when you just brought it up, but I was doing like a moot court thing in my class, and I was in all guys class, and I was the only girl taking this really hard AP law class, and the teacher was this really hard teacher, and he came up to me and he was like, keep going, you're doing really great, you're keeping up with all the others, and I just never forgot that, and I'll remember it forever. And I was about to quit. So it's like it can change your entire course of history. It really can.
I had a teacher, Miss Lindenfeld, I remember my senior year, and she brought to the school a course called Film Studies. And we made a movie. We learned all about film.
You must have loved it.
I got the best movie. We made a movie, me and my friends. I'm like, this is what I want to do the rest of my life.
Yep.
Right then.
Kind of changed. If it hadn't been for that class, looking back, I don't know if I would have thought it was ever possible to do something like that. And she really did change my life. And a couple years later, I went to LA.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, just for one class.
Yeah.
So they do make a difference. They do make a difference. All right, speaking of Adele, an Australian journalist got into some hot water. Listen to this. After a mix-up during his interview with the singer. So earlier this month, Matt Doran flew 10,000 miles to London for an exclusive interview with Adele, but he came into a bit of some trouble, okay? When Adele asked what he thought of her new album, guess what he said? He hadn't listened to it. Turns out it was emailed to him, but he never saw it. Adele completed the interview, but Sony isn't going to air it. So the blunder cost the broadcaster more than $700,000. The reporter called it the most important email he ever missed. Listen, don't blame it on an email. You're going to interview Adele? You got 10,000 miles to travel? Pick up the album.
It's called Apple Music.
No, it's called doing your job.
Yeah, I mean, what else would you be listening to? I would listen to that album over the course of that, try and listen to it almost double-digit times.
And let's say
to find the one thing that could propel this interview.
For this guy, I just want to say the album wasn't out yet when he did the interview, but you call somebody and say, can I get a pre-copy?
My question is, if I don't have an email, I'm asking for that email.
Right.
If I don't have an email saying, here's the preview, which is clearly what this guy had, I'm calling, I'm writing, I'm smoke signaling. Right. I'm not going to show up at Adele's being like, I don't know anything about it. How you doing?
Full disclosure, Tori, tell the audience that like when we interview somebody about an upcoming project, we're prepped, and they usually send at least like an episode or two, or sometimes the whole season over, so you can ask questions.
I find that very strange.
This is an equivalent of sending a reporter to London and not even going to the royal wedding.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
Who would do that?
I mean, and what reporter would show up and embarrass themselves like that?
And do it from a bar?
The royal wedding
at a bar?
from a bar.
Who would do that?
I wouldn't show my face on television.
I wouldn't either.
But
I don't know which one of us did that, but listen, we're classy here. We don't like to reveal anything. Coming up on DBL, Marie Osmond stopped by DBL. She tells us about hosting her huge family for the holidays and gives us a look into her new album. And is the Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera feud back on? Why Britney is coming for Christina on Instagram.
Closed captioning provided by
I remember looking at that footage like, why is she at a... What is this? Okay. Tori, let's talk...
Here's your bangers and mash.
Let's talk to the people about, like, Your trip, because it was cool. You went overseas.
I went overseas. I got to Windsor. I went to Windsor Castle. I went to Buckingham Palace.
Why were you over there?
So you had a
for
good
the royal
holiday.
wedding. Meghan Markle
okay.
and Prince Harry were getting married, and they wanted, and we got to go to really, we saw Hoda Kotb, we saw Savannah Guthrie, and they were like, DBL,
Were
we
they
know
also
you.
in the same bar? as
No,
you?
no, they were closer, a little closer. No, so here, no, they said we know you, DBL. And so here's the problem. We went to this place to set up for the wedding, and I got really dressed out.
You weren't there.
And we all went and got hats. You know, we went to they're called, what are they called? Fasteners. So we went to a famous place, we got fasteners, and then we go to the place where we're gonna watch, and there was not one TV. And I was like, well, then what are we gonna do here? So we had to find a really cool pub, and it was—
I wouldn't say it was really cool.
It was, and we got to hang it with the local Brits.
Hang it?
Hang it with the bangers and mash, and we had a few pints. And we got to see how the locals reacted to seeing Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. So it was actually a really interesting personal
got to see
essay.
how the locals reacted?
Yeah.
That was the point, to see how...
It was a person to person. It was more of a personalized
So we flew you
take.
over there to see how people in a bar would react
Yeah,
to it.
that's right.
I would say that's money well spent.
It was. Does everyone remember it? You seem to bring it up a lot. Both of you.
Yeah.
You seem to remember it a lot. It was a great segment.
It fit right into this story.
It was memorable for both of you.
Singular.
I would be down to go again.
Get something out of this.
But we did. We visited. We listened, and we tried a couple different pubs. We tried.
You went to several bars.
So you got.
We wanted to get the local steak. I'm so
got
sorry.
hammered.
No, we wanted the local steak. And how do you like this American actress coming in? And they were like, we don't care. That was the big thing. But it wasn't that she was American, nor that she was of a different race. You know, the big thing was that she was an actress, and to them that was low class.
Welcome back to DBL. Britney Spears is putting Christina Aguilera on blast, and it's all over a red carpet interview where Christina refused to speak about Britney's conservatorship. Let's take a look.
Britney, have you had any communication? Have you guys had any communication?
No,
Have
we're
you
not
been able
doing
to
that tonight. I'm
celebrate?
sorry.
No?
Thank you, though. Bye.
Okay.
But I'm happy for her.
Yeah, thank you, Mama.
So Britney took to Instagram and said that refusing to speak when you know the truth is the equivalent to a lie. She then thanked Lady Gaga, who called Britney an inspiration to women during her interview on the red carpet. Lady Gaga then posted, "Love you, Britney Spears. I prayed for the legal system to treat you like a person. You've now changed the course for women in the industry forever."
I'm going to take a weird take on this, and I've been very pro Britney this whole time. I don't think you need to yell at people that don't speak out for you if they have private reasons they might not want to. No one's obligated to speak out about Britney. Yes, Christina was in the Mickey Mouse Club. Yes, they were together for a long time as pop stars growing up. I'm sure she had a firsthand clue or witness as to what was going on in that family, but she has no obligation to speak out. And I feel like Britney can thank people when they do, but don't get mad when they
get
don't.
involved in what is a circus now. It's not even about Britney Spears' health anymore.
Right.
It's about this circus of who's right and wrong and what happened. And
I don't need—
It's a circus, and I don't blame Christina Aguilera for not getting involved.
For kind of talking yourself out. Right. So I don't think Britney was right here in this case. I think it was a bit— you're not obligated to say anything in that case.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's a rough situation. And it's like, this is what I was worried about, Jeff, with Britney, is when you've been through what she's been through, you need to take a second. When I say a second, maybe even a year or two to reset, reevaluate, set some goals, set some parameters for who's going to be in and out of your life. And going after people on Instagram, starting Twitter beefs is not the move, in my opinion. So the fact that she didn't feel comfortable speaking on your personal situation, I would look at as a compliment. Like, thank you for not just saying anything, the first thing that came to your head. Thank you for being,
thoughtful about
not speaking.
Right, but now here's my other take. The other side might be like, but no one is more clued into what happened than probably Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera. I mean, they were there through all those years of seeing what she proposes as somewhat of abuse. If anyone would know, she would. So does that make sense?
But totally. But what if she just goes, yeah, listen, I'm happy for Britney, good for Britney. And then people are like, that's not sincere, Christina Aguilera. Why aren't you happy for her? And then people get on her for no reason.
Right.
It's like, if you don't say something, you're in trouble. If you do say something,
lose-lose.
the way you presented it might not be anything. Do you have to go to the length of Lady Gaga and praise you and say you changed womanhood? Is that the appraisal that you need? It's like Britney Spears, I agree with Al, needs to just stay away from social media, keep herself out of the news. What happened to her is great. She's out of that conservatorship. Now she just needs to enjoy the life that she never had and kind of get out of the spotlight for a little bit. But I don't think that's going to be the case.
Interesting.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because I kind of agree with you, and that's weird. Sorry.
That's true. It's when it happened, I was like, oh, look at you guys.
Yeah.
I liked you better under the table. All right, coming up on DBL, our interview with Marie Osmond. How is she handling being an empty nester after being around a huge family her whole life? Don't go away.
Vial right here is the COVID-19 vaccine for kids. It's tiny. In fact, this is 10 doses of that vaccine. And we've heard from parents who are concerned about getting the right dosage. So we wanted to verify, and that's why we came here to Grubbs Pharmacy, who showed us the process step by step.
It's been a very pleasant chaos.
Dr. Michael Kim is the owner of Grubbs Pharmacy, and he's taken us through the process that we typically don't see, getting the vaccine ready for us.
When it arrives, we open it up and it's just frozen. Once it arrives, we've been directed to take it out and put it straight into the refrigerator.
That's so it could thaw before using it. And they should be easy to spot. The kid vaccine has an orange cap and a label with an orange border to distinguish from the adult version.
Then we're going to take a syringe.
The next step is the dilution process, using 1.3 milliliters of sodium chloride.
And then we're going to take the vial of the actual COVID vaccine, and we're going to add this 1.3 mLs to the vial.
Once the sodium chloride is added, pharmacists are trained to mix it all together by doing this turning motion. Finally, it's injection time. They use a syringe to grab 0.2 milliliters of the now diluted vaccine.
And that's it.
A process being done by thousands of pharmacists across the country.
We can show you the entire process and walk you through, hold your hand through the whole entire process.
And Dr. Kim says that if you have questions about all this, of course, just bring those questions to your doctor.
If you think I'd say goodbye, there's just no way. From love like this, baby, you're crazy.
Oh, great song. Welcome back to DBL. That was Marie Osmond performing her hit song, Baby, You're Crazy. We were so thrilled when she sat down with us earlier to talk about the holidays. That's today's Chatting with the Stars.
Hello, you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to
How are
see
you all?
We're doing well. We're so happy to have you.
Okay, so I know Erica, the rest of you, let's see, is it Tori, right?
I'm Tori over
Where's
here.
Tori?
I'm the overly
Are you
trying
Jeff?
one. Yeah, this one.
I'm Jeff and Al. Jeff and Al, yes.
That's right. What's up?
I don't know, maybe it's because I come from a big family. I feel like everybody needs to be recognized, right?
That means a lot. I like that.
No other guest does.
I thought a stone was coming. That's what she wanted to make sure, like,
no.
Jeff, right? Not Al, Jeff.
All right, let me ask you here, Marie. Your symphonic Christmas tour starts in December. Woohoo! How are you planning to stay festive while traveling on the road? Do you decorate your tour bus? Like, talk to me through that.
I grew up in a bus. Are you kidding? Do you know, with COVID and everything, I have always been associated with Christmas, whether it was USO tours with Bob Hope, Perry Como, even back that far, Osmond Family Christmas shows. But to me, the holidays aren't, I don't know, I just don't get that spirit unless I'm out doing something to give it. And so selfishly, it's a little bit for me, but I really feel like people need joy again. My motto is, I will give you the Christmas spirit, I promise.
Yes.
I love it. Now, I have to ask you this. This is parent to parent. Now, your youngest has left for college. So it's just you and the mister at home, all right? So, like, what's the best thing about being an empty nester? And also, like, what did you have to get used to?
Do you know what? I grew up in a house with 8 brothers, and then I went on to have 8 children, and now I have 8 grandchildren. And so this is the first time it's been a quiet house, and I have to say I really love it.
Well, there may be some changes to the program in the near future. First of all, Queen, yeah, stay booked and busy. I'm inspired. But Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and you have such a big family. I myself am hosting for 22.
Oh,
so what are some of your favorite, yeah, girl, Osmond family traditions you've introduced your children to?
Hey. Well, I think that, so being the only girl, my mom was overwhelmed with my brothers. They ate like, horses. But I started taking over Thanksgiving, cooking Thanksgiving at my home as a child, age, I was like 12 when I started taking over from my mom. And so I'm known for my stuffing. So I would say that's a tradition that my girls are like, Mom, we're going to make it. For example, I'm heading to Vegas. I'm in a different place right now in my home in Utah, but I'm heading to my home in Vegas, and we're all gathering. And I told the girls, you're all making it this year, and I will watch. And they're like, no, Mom, you can't. And I said, you got to learn, or we can't pass it on. And so, because I don't have a recipe, it's all done by taste.
Nice. Ooh, I love it. Marie,
those are traditions, if that's what you mean.
Before we go, I want to talk about your new album, Unexpected, before we run out of time here. What makes it so unexpected, Marie? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, my oldest brother, Verl, was here. I played him one of the songs, and he didn't know it was me, and I loved that. I sing opera. I spent 20 years, when I did Sound of Music, or King and I on Broadway, I was told that I could sing legit soprano and opera, and I was like, shut up. And so I've been working on it. So we have songs in there like, Nessun Dorma. I have songs from, like, On My Own from Les Mis.
Love that.
Lascia, Nella Fantasia, and not just opera, but other great American songbook, just wonderful things. I was Rodgers and Hammerstein's girl, like I said, and their favorite song was If I Loved You from Carousel, so that's on there. Wow. But you'll hear that but this full symphony is what's so incredible. And it's a 17 song. I couldn't decide where to stop, so I just kept adding songs to it. And it's fun. I'm going to start touring it first of the year, but I'll add a few of those songs in this Christmas show because I think people will enjoy them.
Amazing.
I know people.
I know they will.
Unexpected. No, I think they'll like the sound of the orchestra with it, is what I'm saying. But the song Unexpected is a song by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it's dedicated to all my fans. I wouldn't be here 6 decades in this business performing consistently if it weren't for them. And so this album is dedicated to
them.
Amazing. Marie, thank you so much for chatting us. Get your copy of Unexpected out December 10th. Don't forget to
join the panel.
There you go. Yes, you are welcome. Check out come through. Symphonic Christmas Tour. Tickets are available at marieosmond.com. Thanks, Marie. We'll be right back.
Come here.
Thanks, you guys. You're awesome.
Take care.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Detox. Videos claiming you can detox in a chemical bath started popping up on social media sites as more employers started mandating their workers get vaccinated against COVID-19. Social media users say taking a bath in a mixture of chemicals will remove the vaccine from your body. So let's verify. Can you detox to remove a vaccine from your body? Our sources are the National Institutes of Health, Assistant Clinical Professor of Medicine at the University of Colorado, Dr. Pyle Coley, and Dr. Richard Clark, Medical Director at the California Poison Control Center in San Diego. Many of the videos use clips from a speech by Dr. Carrie Modick explaining what she claims the detox will treat.
They take care of pesticides, they take care of heavy metals, all kinds of things, even some parasites.
Modick posted on her website on November 16th that the clips were taken out of context, adding, quote, "I have never stated that I can detox anyone from the current jabs," unquote. And other doctors told Verify there's nothing you can do once a vaccine is given.
It is impossible to remove a vaccine from your body once it has been injected. So once that's been injected inside you, it sets those dominoes into motion with your immune system responding with an immune response.
That process begins almost immediately after injection. Doctors say the only way to lessen the effects of some vaccines is to wait for them to naturally lose their potency.
we've had vaccines around so much longer than the COVID vaccine that you would think if there was any tried and true method of getting rid of the effects of the vaccine, we'd certainly know it by now.
So it's false that you can detox to remove a vaccine from your body. Doctors say many of these videos suggest using dangerous chemicals that the NIH warns can have a serious and potentially deadly side effect. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis. The IRS announced it's changing the tax brackets for income in 2022, and it's generating a lot of headlines, with a lot of people asking on Google whether federal income tax brackets change every year. So let's verify. Our sources are the IRS, the Tax Foundation, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The IRS uses 7 tax brackets to calculate what percentage of your income goes to taxes each year. In general, the BLS says average wages increase annually with inflation. This additional pay could push someone into a higher tax bracket even if their spending power hasn't actually increased. That's why the IRS makes an annual inflation adjustment to the brackets. The exact amount doesn't always correlate with inflation. The BLS estimates item costs 6.2% more now than a year ago, but the IRS is only raising the brackets by 3.2%. This is because the IRS assumes people will also change their shopping habits when faced with higher prices, such as buying store brands or cheaper cuts of meat. Still, the more than 3% increase to the brackets is the largest since Congress changed the tax code in 2017, and for some brackets, the largest since 2009 during the height of the Great Recession. So, it's true. Federal income tax brackets do change annually. The same can't be said for state income taxes because the Tax Foundation says 15 states and D.C. do not automatically adjust for inflation. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. What is the cost of love? If scammers are involved, it's hundreds of millions. You didn't think I was going to say that, huh? It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So according to the FTC, romance scams cost Americans more than $300 million last year. And these scams are highest for those aged 60 to 79. And here's how to spot them. Typically, they create fake profiles on dating sites. They also target users on Instagram and Facebook, of course. A scammer will want to connect with you off the dating site, but they don't want to meet you in person. Very important. Then after they build trust, they ask for money to help in an emergency. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-419-0131 or visit lifelock.com to learn a little bit more. Important stuff.
Yeah, they get you when you're lonely.
They're vulnerable, right? When I'm deeply thinking I'm with someone or might be with someone, I was the most vulnerable. Yeah. So just keep a lookout for your elderly loved ones, really.
And again, I can't say it enough. Check that URL because I get them all. I just showed you another one the other day. I'm like, is this real? Asking for money from the UPS, right? Saying I need to. So always check that URL. It'll really help you out. DBL's new every day. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.